So go ahead and push play on your playlist for song 1. And we're gonna sit back and get all comfy, get the fleshy bits out of the way. Hands are gonna rest on your knees or by your knees. You're gonna sit up nice and tall, crown of the head pressed towards the sky. We're gonna just start breathing, closing down the eyes, closing the mouth, inhaling nice and slowly through the nose, filling up your belly, filling up your ribs, filling up your chest, and exhaling nice and evenly from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. Taking this time to meet yourself where you are, knowing you're right where you're supposed to be. Allowing yourself just to breathe and get into your body, bringing your attention to the way the air flows in and out through your nose. Knowing that for the next hour, we're just going to be moving intuitively, doing what feels good, trying to get into all the little parts of our body that are stagnant. But we always started out with our breath. Filling your belly, filling your ribs, filling your chest, and exhaling from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. Lifting your heart as you inhale, and as you exhale, allowing your body to settle and relax. Even taking this moment to put one hand on your belly and one hand over your heart. And as you breathe, expanding into your hands, feeling your body meet your body. Feeling yourself lift with your inhale and settle with your exhale. Maybe even curling your lips into a gentle smile as you greet your practice with gratitude. And keep breathing. Remembering to fill your belly, fill your ribs, and fill your chest. And exhale from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. Looking down at the ground, you can slightly blink your eyes open. And we'll bring our hands both to heart center and we'll start moving our heart in a circle. So spiralizing counterclockwise. Feeling like there's something happening here. So keeping your sit bones nice and grounded on the ground, fingers widespread, spiralizing through the chest. Keeping that breath going, making it a little bigger, keeping it moving. And then we'll take both hands flowing down that circle, bringing yourself back to stillness. We'll inhale both hands come up. Big stretch, big breath. And we'll switch the hands around and exhale, push them down. Nice and slow, like you're moving your hands through water. And we'll inhale, bring them up. And exhale, bring them back down. And then we'll bring the hands to the heart again, spiraling the other way. Making that spiral a little bit bigger. And then bringing that circle to a space of being a little bit smaller, slowly spiraling back to stillness. We'll take our hands to our knees as we roll our shoulders back. Maybe even one at a time, getting fancy. Really squeezing those shoulder blades down or back and down the spine, getting a nice massage going in your back. And then we'll take our shoulders, press them down towards the ground, elbows nice and soft, chin gently tucked, crown of the head pressed towards the ceiling. We'll fill ourselves with breath. And then as we exhale, we'll twist our chin to the left. And then we'll inhale, come back to center and twist the chin to the other side. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the side you started with. Opposite hand reaches for the ground as the same side hand comes all the way up to stretch you over to the other side. Big breaths here, breathing into your side body, getting a nice stretch through the side. And we'll inhale, come back to center, arms parallel to the floor, looking over to the left. Right hand comes down and the other hand comes up, big stretch this way. And we'll inhale, come back to center, hands parallel to the floor, fingers stretched nice and wide. Give them a wiggle, rolling out through the wrist, big circles. Big breath brings our arms up above the head. And exhale, brings hands down to prayer, pressing into one hand at a time, side to side. So stretching through the forearms as you bring your fingers in front of your shoulders, both sides. And then we'll invert our hands, same thing, stretching side to side, keeping your elbows parallel to the floor. And we'll come forward up onto our knees, flipping our toes. We'll sit up nice and tall here. We'll bring our hands in front of us, big breath forward, looking up, gentle back bend here. Exhale. We'll bring our breath through center and we'll exhale, fold down, bringing our hands behind our back, hips come to the heels, forehead to the floor. And we'll inhale, reach all the way up. And we'll exhale, both hands slice over to one side. We'll bring our breath up. Exhale, slice over to the other side. Hands come up. Powerful breaths here. Picking up the pace a little bit, warming up our bodies. Bringing both hands up, pressing the hips forward, bringing the hands to the hips, coming up nice and tall through the top of the body, little circles with the hips here. So counterclockwise or clockwise, either way, circling the hips around the knees, keeping the toes tucked. And then we'll change direction, going back the other way. And then we'll bring those hips back to the heels, Coming up onto the feet, we'll sit down nice and low into our chair and we'll bounce it out or pulse it out here. Hands can be in prayer or the side, but we're bouncing, we're pulsing. And then we'll take one tippy toe at a time and straighten it as we walk it out. So tiptoeing here, nice and low through the hips, bending the knees. Keeping it going. We're building heat by working our big muscles of our body. Takes lots of blood to do that. And then we'll inhale, come up, heels down, big stretch. And we'll exhale, swoosh it down and bring it back up, this time all the way to standing. And swoosh it down, bring it up. And all the way up. And all the way up. And all the way up. And again, all the way up. One last time, big stretch. Hips come forward, chest goes up, eyes go back. And then we'll inhale, come back through center, shake it out. And then we'll step wide to our mat, bring our right knee in and wide, left knee in and wide. So big knee circles here, landing as soft as you can as you step it wide. Bringing it in and around. Nice. Big circles. Soft landing. As we step our feet into center and get our hips going. And we'll go this way, and this way, this way, this way. So nice step, big stretch with your hips out. 3, 2, 1. We'll bring it back to our chair as we step it wide and in. So out, out, in, in. And 2, and 1. And we'll step it out, out, and this time we'll stay here and pulse it. We'll bring our hands to our knees and we'll scoop one shoulder down for 3 pulses, bring it back up for 3, and then down for 3, and then up for 3, and down for 3. And we'll shimmy side to side. So keeping thighs parallel to the ground, we're shifting side to side and get a good back feel happening with our arms here getting into our shoulders as we pedal it back. And then we'll bring our hands in, sitting down low, toe in, and that other toe. And then both toes. And then both toes come forward, hips go back, folding forward, grounding into the pinky toe side, we'll shake it out. And take it for a walk. So shaking that booty, shake, 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 shake. Take it for a walk. And then we'll take our arms parallel to the floor, little pulses up through the chest. And then nice circles through the chest. And other way. And then we'll put both hands towards the ground, hold the head to the floor, relevate into one toe. So coming up onto the tippy toes of one foot, and then the other. So up onto the tippy toes. And then we'll bend into that right knee, hands can be wherever is comfortable for you. And we'll bend deep into that right knee, coming up onto that left heel, toes pointed towards the ceiling. Finding your balance. falling out as you need. Big breaths here. You can hold the ground, you can hold your hips, you can hold here. Stretching, big stretch into the back of the leg here, toes pointed up towards the ceiling, give them a wiggle. And then we'll stay nice and low as we bend into that left knee, transferring over into the other left knee. Toes pointed up towards the ceiling, give them a wiggle, nice big stretch under here. And we're on that other left knee, whichever one it is left, the real left. This time we're gonna turn over to the left, coming into our lunge, and we're little pulses here. So pressing back through that back heel, nice and long through the leg. Back is slightly lifted, pulsing here. You can be on your fingertips or down flat on your hands. There's little pulses stretching through the front of the legs now, pressing back through those heels. And we'll reach out our left hand. So left foot and left arm are forward, right foot back. And we'll go forward and back. And we'll lower that right hand, left arm cycles back, big circles here, twisting to the left with every back circle. And we'll bring that left hand to the outside of the left knee as we tip that knee to the side, slide it back to meet our right into plank. And we'll do hip ticks here. So we're pulling, not dropping our hips to the ground, we're pulling our hips up towards our armpits into an oblique crunch. And then we'll press it down to downward facing dog. So pressing into the heels, take your dog for a walk. We'll ground down through our hands, pointer fingers pointing towards the front of the mat. Fingers splayed nice and wide. Taking your dog for a walk, so bending into your knees here. We're gonna walk our feet a little bit closer, and we're gonna play with the idea of lifting our feet up off of the ground and kicking ourselves in the butt for a hamstring kick or curl. And then we're gonna speed that up. So we're taking that for a jog, hamstring curl here, running it out. And then lifting that right leg way up high, we'll bend it, coming through for our lunge. Little pulses here, pressing down. So little pulses with those hips, getting a nice stretch through the front of the left leg. Left hand stays down, right arm circles back, twisting to the right as you go. And then we'll take that right hand, reach it forward, coming forward and back, moving outside of that ankle constriction, letting that knee go in front. And then we'll bring that right hand down to beside the right hand, slide the right foot back, coming to our plank. This time we'll circle our hips. So like you're painting a circle with your tailbone. And we'll bend our elbows nice and close to the body, keeping that circle going. You can lower your knees here. We'll slide our forearms down underneath of us for our shoulders. Elbows are underneath of our shoulders. Coming into our Sphinx, keeping those shoulders pressed back and down, keeping the chest slightly tucked so we're not tucking into the back of the neck. We're keeping the back of the neck nice and long. We'll bring back those hamstring curls one at a time, heels towards the booty. Nice. And then we'll take our toes, flip them underneath, release our elbows to the side, lower our chest to the ground, press into our knees, press into our hands, coming up halfway for little push-ups. We're gonna bend our elbows, lowering 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna do that again. So down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips come back and down for child's pose, pressing your forehead into the mat here and rocking your head side to side. Nice massage on that sweaty forehead. And we're gonna roll forward and down, lifting up with our inhale. And then as we exhale, we'll lower and roll back. So starting with the tailbone, lift and roll, keeping your chin tucked until the very end. And then we'll inhale, lift and lower and roll back. And then we'll step our knees in so they're above our belly button or more forward of our belly button. Knees are forward, flipping our toes, hands are planted. Elbow crooks are turned forward, so there's an external rotation of the shoulders happening. We'll round the spine, dip the spine, and find a place halfway that's in between. Flipping those toes, we'll lift those knees, and we'll tick-tock from side to side. So keeping those knees close to the ground, ticking side to side to side. And then we'll march it out with bear crawl. So lifting one opposite hands and foot. So right hand, left foot, left hand, right foot. Marching it out. Maybe taking a few little baby bear steps forward. And then taking a few little baby bear steps back. Keeping that marching going. You're so strong. You've got this. March it out. Little lift. Lower the knees. Lower the toes. Sit back on the heels. Hands come back. Forehead comes down for leaf. Roll out those wrists. And then we'll slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, coming to sit back on our heels. And we'll come forward, tucking those toes under, sitting back, untucking the pinky toes so our feet are nice and splayed. Taking our hands, interlacing our fingers. We'll roll out our hips as we sit on our heels, stretching the soles of our feet, reconnecting with that breath, filling your chest, filling your ribs, filling your belly, exhaling from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. Just be here, nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. We'll take our hands, knock the floor, we'll flip it, knock the ceiling, and cycle it out. So go ahead, dance it out a little, side to side, putting your weight in opposite feet as you do. You can get your hands going if you want to. We're here to move, and we're going to. Darn it, we're gonna move. So we'll take our hands side to side, so scooping, big side to side movements. And we'll bring a big breath up, and we'll exhale down, coming forward, lifting our toes, pointing them, laying them down gently on the floor. Our hands, either plant your fingers here or plant them flat. So we'll tent and little pulses, the knees, press, press, press. So press and lift. And then we're gonna take our feet and walk up through the center line of our mat, heels to toes, like you're walking on a balance beam or a tightrope, nice and slow, really stretching through the calves here, walking our feet forward until they're right underneath of our chest. And we'll plant to our left foot, lifting up onto our right toes. We'll slide those right toes back, straighten and bend, little pulses through the front leg, bending and straightening through the front leg. And then finding somewhere comfortable for that leg to sit as we slowly pulse our right leg up. So lift and lower, getting into those glutes. And then we're gonna rainbow that toe, so outside of mat and over to the other side. So looking under the right side and left side armpit at your toes as you rainbow that leg over side to side. And then we'll leave that left foot where it is, bringing the right foot behind the left, left hand planted to the ground below the left shoulder. And we'll slowly lift up our right hip, opening it to the side, lifting that right leg parallel to the floor, nice and strong. Big breaths here. Balancing. And then take that right hip and tip it back down towards the ground, bending into the left knee, reaching down with the right hand. Right knee comes into the chest, giving it a hug with both hands. Flamingo, I don't know if that's the thing, but we'll call it flamingo pose. Pressing into that left leg, using all your strength to lift that right knee up, coming into a balance at the top of your mat. And we'll take that left or right knee in the left hand, pull it across the body as we reach the right hand out to the right side. Nice twist here. And we'll cactus that right arm, keeping this twist going. We'll reach and pull down with the elbows. Elbow, there's only one moving. So stretching and contracting, keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. Something's happening. So keeping this going. My window just jumped. We're twisted and here. And then we'll bring that elbow over to the right knee, glue it to the right knee, open them to the side. Nice and balanced, finding a place to stare that's unmoving as your left hand goes out. And we'll reach that left hand up to the ceiling and then bend over to the right as we bend the left elbow, touching our fingertips together. And then little pulses here into the left knee. So we're like jester pose, dance jester here. Ungluing that elbow from the knee, we'll bring our hands up to the top. And we'll sunshine side to side as our foot is at 90 degrees now, our knee. And then we'll bring our hands to our hips, bring the right leg back, kick it back. Hamstring curls again, or bending and extending that right leg. Maybe your left calf is burning. Maybe it's just my left calf. And we'll take that right leg, cross it behind the left, place it on the ground for our curtsy lunge. We'll roll our shoulders back, getting nice and tall. And we'll pulse into that left knee. And then we'll take our hands, stop, and we'll twist to the right, reaching for our mat. Our toes come with us. And then stepping that right leg and left into center, we'll gesture it out. And then we'll press back into down dog, ground down into the heels, give your booty a little shake, and keep that shake going as you walk up the center of your mat. Coming to ground on your right foot this time, taking the left leg out to the back, pointing those toes, little pulses, bringing it up and down. And then we'll take that left leg and do the rainbow. So outside, underneath the left armpit, lift it up, lower it to the right, side to side. You can speed it up when the song changes, follow the beat, moving with the music. And then we'll bring that left knee into the chest for our flamingo. Give it a big hug, bending deep into the right knee. Use everything you got to press into that right leg, straighten and twist aside. You're gonna twist this way, pulling it into the chest. We'll take that left knee in the right hand, pull it across the body. The left arm goes out to the side, bending the elbow 90 degrees. Big twitching stretch. Making sure you can still wiggle your standing foot toes. Finding a space in center of your feet. And we'll pulse out this elbow, so reach and pulse it down. Pull it down like you're really pulling something from the ceiling. Maybe it's your chin-up bar. We don't know what kinds of things you have in your living room. So pulling. We're really, really challenging our balance here by twisting the body and moving at the same time. But all those little compensatory muscles that are working to balance you out, we want them. We want them doing stuff. So we'll take that left knee, open it up to the left side. Right hand comes out to the right side. Woo, finding balance, finding something to stare at that's unmoving. We'll glue elbow to knee, reach that right hand up, lift that knee as high as you can, bending into that right arm, touching the fingertips together, trying to stay open through the chest as much as you can. And we'll pulse here for our gesture dance pose. And then we'll come back through center, sunshine side to side, keeping your shoulders away from the ears for this. And we'll take our right or left leg, pulse it back, hands can come to the hips, just kicking it back like donkey kick, forward and back. And then we'll take that left leg, cross it behind the right, toes come to lunge here, rolling the shoulders to lift your chest and gentle pulsing through the right knee into your curtsy. And then we'll bring our chest perpendicular 45 degrees to the floor. Hands come out in front. We twist to the left. So inside, our heels spin with us. We'll spin all the way around. I'm gonna go this way, so I'm not showing you my bit. We're grounding down through our pinky toe side, and we're gonna ground and give our booty a shake. And we're gonna swing our fingers like we're tracing them through the water. So shake and figure eight with the fingertips. If you can, we're working our minds by challenging it to do things that it's like, what the heck are we doing? And then we'll plant our hands down under our chest, little pulses to lift the chest here, lift and lower. And we'll step our toes forward, step our feet in halfway, heels come closer together, toes splayed out. We'll sit down into our squat. So elbows on the inside of the knee, gentle shimmy side to side. And then we'll plant our hands down. If your heels go down, excellent. If not, excellent. And we'll do some nice circles with our hips here. So nice high circle. Keeping your hands and feet on the ground though, as much as you can. And then change direction. So big circles the other way. If you ended up facing that way with our last move, go ahead, turn around so you can see and you're comfortable. And then from here, we'll bring our hips high, straighten out through our legs, thumbs tuck into opposite grooves of our elbows as we figure eight with our elbows, head falling towards the ground. Make sure you can wiggle your toes, maybe plant down your 4 small toes as you lift and lower your great toe. Get into some foot yoga here as we're stretching out our back. So lifting and lowering just the great toe. Then we're going to plant just the great toe and see if we can lift and lower the middle toes. So planting the great toe and the pinky. And we'll release our hands down, walking them over to the right ankle, left hand on the outside of the right ankle, bending into the left knee as you're stretching through the left side of the body. And then we'll straighten our left leg, come back through center, hands on the hips, inhale, lift with the chest. And then we'll do a nice circle with the hips. And change direction, 3 circles the other way. And then press those hips forward as you inhale, lift, squeezing the elbows together, coming into camelback. And then bring those hips back slightly as you hinge and fold. Hands walk over to the left foot, right hand on the outside of the left ankle, bending into the right knee. And then we'll straighten both legs, but keep both hands over at the left. We'll pivot on the left heel, toes point forward. We're gonna bend into that right knee, point those right toes, send our hips back, left toes up to the ceiling, coming into half Hanumanasana or half split. You can sit back on your heel here and walk your hands back, stretching into the back. If you're not feeling anything here, you're welcome to slide into a more full split position. Otherwise, staying here. Trying to keep your hips even to the ground, and we'll tick-tock those toes side to side, getting a nice undulation of that hip bone in the hip socket. We're starting to slow it down. Yay, hot. It's great, we love it. We come to move, our bodies are made to move, so let's move them. And we're gonna reach forward, forward folding over our shin here. And then we'll plant our hands down beside our knee, transfer our weight forward, coming into a low lunge. So letting that knee go past your ankle, as long as you don't have any ankle or knee issues. But if this feels okay, go ahead and do it. You're helping to stretch the Achilles tendon. You're helping to strengthen the bones of your feet. And with our right hand planted on the ground here, we're gonna take our fingers and lift and lower one toe at a time, starting with the pinky toe. Lift and lower one toe at a time. Maybe give them a little massage as you do so. Say, hello, feet. Thank you for carrying me through my day and grounding me into the earth. Lifting and lowering one at a time. Your great toe might be like, what are you even doing? I can do this on my own, but just let it rest. Maybe give the top of your foot a little massage. And then we'll flip those back toes coming through our lunge. We'll open our right hip to the side, pressing into that left knee, cartwheeling our right hand back, coming to a warrior two. So our feet are perpendicular to one another. They're straight back leg, straight front foot. The heel of the front leg is coming to rest or lining up with the arch of the back foot. And we slowly reach forward and backwards, keeping our hips very still. As we do so, we're going to start some circles with our arms and change direction with them. So again, always challenging our balance to do things that it doesn't normally do. We'll take our left hand down on the inside of our left leg. Right arm comes up as we straighten through the left leg, right hip pulled way back, and then allowing ourselves to bend forward into triangle pose. Keeping those front toes able to wiggle, grounding through the arch of the foot, pressing through the pinky toe side of the back leg. We can gaze down at the floor, out in front, or up at the right hand, and we'll do a nice backward circle with our upper hand, and maybe even take it and stick it in our back pocket or our low back. Getting a nice micro bend here if it's getting to be too straining on the knee, and we'll scoop into our heart here, scooping, scooping, scooping. And then we're gonna invert our triangle pose into an inverted warrior by bending into our front knee, left hand comes up, right hand slides down the right leg, looking up with the fingertips, give them a wiggle. And then we'll cartwheel down to the floor, coming up on those back toes, sliding the left foot back. We'll shimmy forward and back in our plank. And we'll plant into our plank here, coming just to a normal plank, not letting your hips go too low or too high, not letting your back dip too much or not enough, just keeping it nice and strong. And we'll lift and lower one leg at a time. We don't have to lift them high. And then we'll plant into our left foot, bring our right knee in a big circle. If you need to go onto your forearms or even lower your back knee here, you can. Otherwise, staying in your plank. And we'll take that right leg, step it in front of the left, cross walk it out until we plant into our Right foot, bring a nice circle here. And then we'll lower our knees down, point our toes, roll it back, flip our wrists so the backs of our hands are on the mat. Gentle leaning back. And I'm gonna turn here. We're gonna step forward with our right foot, straighten into our back leg, open our left hip open our left hip to the left side, reach our right hand forward, left hand back, coming into warrior two. We're gonna let that knee go past that ankle. Maybe play with what feels good. So you can stack your knee right on top of your ankle for the most like bone support or skeletal support. But you can also play with going less and more and see what activates your muscles in a way that feels good. We're gonna reach here. We're gonna go forward and back. So keeping those hips nice and still and stuck, but we're reaching and moving back. Burp. And we're gonna do some circles here. And backwards. And we'll take that right hand, reach it to the inside of the right thigh, left arm goes up for extended side angle. You can extend it forward or bring it here. We're gonna straighten into that front leg, really pull that left hip back as we come into our triangle pose on the other side. Gaze can be down at the ground, out to the side, or up. But we're gonna take that arm, and we're gonna isolate the shoulder as we move it around. We're gonna take that left hand, put it in our low back pocket, bend it, slight micro bend in that front knee if it's getting to be a little too extended, scooping up to the heart, lifting and lowering the torso. And then we're gonna bend that front knee. Left arm slides down the left leg as the right arm comes all the way up to exalt your warrior. And we're gonna come back to neutral, taking our toes, pointing them both to the same side, both hands come up, interlacing the fingers. We have Anjali or Temple Mudra, pointer fingers up. We're gonna bend side to side. So inhale through center, exhale over to the other side. We're gonna bring our heels in, bend it down as we keep this going. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up, we're gonna paint the front of the room as we fold forward, pointing our toes, standing straight, coming to the long side of your mat. We're gonna take our peace fingers, interlace them around our great toe, sending our elbows out to the side, nose to knees, tailbone shining up at the sky. And we're gonna bend into our knees, walking to the top of our mat. We're gonna do some little circles with our knees. So we're drawing little circles here with our knees and change direction. And we're gonna hug our knees, tuck our chin. We're gonna trust fall backwards, roll it out a couple times. Staring down the belly button or the chest as you roll, get a nice massage going on your back, keeping your back rounded. We're gonna slowly lower down onto our back, pressing our low back into the mat here, and we'll gentle rock side to side, getting in, stimulating the adrenal glands and the kidneys. We want energy, and we want it abundantly and never ending. So we want fresh, pure, lovely oxygenated blood to flow to all our glands. We're gonna relax our back down, back at the head to the mat. Draw a nice circle with our knees here, getting into those like upper glutes. And we'll pull our right knee into our chest, straighten our left heel up towards the sky. And we're gently gonna open that left leg to the left side. So doing as wide as you can with your left leg, as long as your right glute stays on the mat. So opening up wide here, big breath. And then we'll bend our knee to bring our heel back to our hip. And then reach for that left knee as we bring it back into center. Feet together, knees apart, holding onto the ankles, toes pointed up towards the sky. Gentle rock side to side. And then we'll close those knees up, left knee into the chest or the belly, right heel extended towards the ceiling, filling yourself with breath, maybe reconnecting with that smile as you slowly open your right leg to the right side, using your stabilizer muscles to move so slowly, so intentionally. Remember, don't go wide. If you start tipping over to the right, you've gone too far, so bring it back a little bit so your pelvis can stay nice and even on the mat. And then we'll bend that knee, bringing the heel toward the bum, and then bring that right knee back in, soles of the feet together. This time laying the sides of your feet onto the mat underneath of you, knees falling open for supine butterfly. Triangle of the hands, pointer fingers and thumbs together, laying down with the heels of your hands on your hip bones, breathing into your low belly here. So inhaling to your chest, to your ribs, expanding your belly into your hands with the bottom of your inhale, pausing here, and then exhaling from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. And we'll inhale into your belly, filling it up, and then exhaling from your belly. So breathing nice and deep here, we'll inhale to the count of 4, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Eyes closed, body relaxed, breathing normally. Reach your hands underneath of your knees and pull your knees back up together and into your chest, lifting your head and tucking your chin. Taking big, deep breaths here. And we'll lower our feet down to the mat, arms come out wide to the sides, plant the head back on the ground, tuck those shoulders under. We're gonna lift our hips and put them 3 inches over to the right as both knees fall over to the left. Getting a nice spinal twist here. You might have some snap, crackle, popping action. Make sure you're drinking lots of water before and after your practice. And we'll bring our knees back up to center, planting into the feet, lifting the hips back to center, knees come into the chest, this time holding onto the backs of the legs, heels extend up towards the ceiling. You can tuck your chin and plant your hands on the ground, pulling your knees right over top of your face, hands to the low back. So for a nice back bend here, and lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. Your feet come back underneath of your bum. You'll lift your hips up, shimmy them over to the left 3 inches, and then let your knees fall over to the left side for a nice twist. Letting your worries or cares for the day slide away with every exhale. And then nice and gently bringing your knees back to center, putting your hips back where they belong, slowly beginning to stretch yourself out, grabbing a blanket if you need or a pillow, coming to rest for your final Shavasana. This last song that we chose for this day or this class is one that I use frequently. So just let yourself relax, let yourself breathe as you remember what we actually are, which is light particles, really, really, really close together, moving really, really, really fast to form a people. So just lay here, breathe, and enjoy being a people. And for what it's worth, it's never too late, or in my case, too early, to be whoever you want to be. There's no time limit. Stop whenever you want. You can change or stay the same. There are no rules to this thing. We can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things you've never felt before. I hope you meet people with a different point of view. I hope you live a life that you're proud of. If you find that you're not, I hope you have the courage to start all over again, says F. Scott Fitzgerald. So moving into, that makes more sense. So skipping this next song and moving into I Am Light by India Air or Ari. Finding a space that's comfortable. Closing down your eyes as the song plays, reminding you that you are light. And for what it's worth, you're in charge of your life. So letting go of the need to control your breath and just allowing yourself to sit and breathe as your body needs. So nice and slowly, in your own time, in your own way, begin to come back, keeping your eyes closed as long as possible. Bring back movement, your fingers and your toes. If you're laying here and you think, Sydney, I just need to lay here longer, please lay there longer. Take all the time you need. But when you're ready, slowly making your way back up to a seated position that works for you. I like to begin where I start or end where I began, in the same position, just to notice any differences. Maybe your ankle isn't quite as achy as it was. Maybe you notice a muscle in your side that you might have forgot about. But either way, meeting your body where you are, knowing that now it's like this. And all together, we'll bring our hands to our heart where we take a breath and feel our own heartbeat, our own unique rhythm. This right here is what needs to be setting the pace for your day. And then we'll take our hands with a big breath, scooping up all the good energy that's in our own room right now, bringing our hands to unite above our head as we pause in exaltation for this life, for this world. And we'll fill ourselves with breath as we exhale and bring our thumbs to our third eye, where we always remember to think kind thoughts about others, but most importantly about ourselves. And we'll fill ourselves with breath all together again. And as we exhale, we'll bring our hands down to our throat and our lips, the center of our voice, where we always remember to speak kind words about others, but most importantly about ourselves. And for the last time together in this practice today, we'll fill ourselves with breath as we exhale, bringing our hands down to our heart, where we always remember to be kind to others, but most importantly, to ourselves. Thank you for joining me in this practice today. I hope you feel lubricated and ready to take on whatever's next for you. I see you. Namaste.